Hey everyone, welcome to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Sunday Night Live. And folks, there's a hurricane and it's coming to the zoo. Now, of course, this broadcast is not going to be all about hurricanes front to back. It's going to be about everything going on in the whole world. And you guys are speaking, coordinating, communicating, and making sure we're all prepared. As for me, in the state of Florida, let's see. Yeah. If you look over here, this part's going to get really freaking wet and destroyed. We just got done with Hurricane Helene, which went south to north and up that way, right? Now we've got one coming from the west over to the east. And there's a lot of people commenting on that. Saying, I've been watching the weather since the 1980s, and this never happens. Retired meteorologists are also weighing in on social media saying, this is not how this works. Hurricanes do not develop in the west of the Gulf of Mexico and then head back east. Hurricanes typically, folks, start way over in Africa, across that fucking ocean, and they blow east to west or east to west towards us. They don't start over here and then go east. Anyways, enough said about that. Folks, I tell you what, I got me a big cup. Well, it doesn't look that big, but it's a big cup of coffee with Kraken in it. And I tell you what, we're going to talk about some topics that are going to crack your mind. This channel, this show, we are supported by you guys directly, guerrilla funding through YouTube Super Chats, thepreparedmind.club, and subscribestar.com. And any Super Chat donation, Super Chats are right up there. Super Chat donations of $50 or more buys a Glenlivet Scotch. Single malt, of course. Single malt. Now, let's do this. Oh, yeah, that looks good. No, let's go with that one. Yeah, that one looks great. All right, everyone. Hey, what are we going to talk about? What is up? It's your show. Let's start with Chin Music sent me a private email. I think I can share it a little bit. It has to do with what's going on, not with the hurricanes. We'll get back to that. Don't you worry. Chin Music has done a $55.56 super chat donation. $55.56 right off the bat. Whoops. That right there. We're going to have my friend Scotch meet my friend the Kraken. And I tell you what, folks, it's going to be an exciting show. I need to calm the hell down. I guess drinking coffee wasn't the wisest thing, but what the hell? There it is. I need to calm down and relax. This will do it right here, Chin brother. Woo! Semper Fi, and let's get the show on the road. And this is what he said to me, and he's also got another one. Up, there it is. If the commie response to the tragedy in North Carolina doesn't wake you from your slumber and teach you that you're on your own, nothing will. He says, I have a rifle expert class scheduled on the 14th. Good deal. 3 hours with a veteran teaching me sling tactics, fixing a jam, it's called immediate action, speed loading, and room clearing. It's another essential skill for a guy who's already skilled hand-to-hand, handguns, and a knife expert. I'm as trained as I can be because I know these skills will be needed soon. We are in bad shape. There are hills to die on. We all know it. That's why we get together every Sunday. I feel a special kinship and have a bond there with several people I've never met but would go into a dark alley to defend. Love the Prepared Mind family. Semper Fi, John. You're building something special. Proud to be a part of it. And I'm proud that you're here, Chin, and many, many other people who communicate with Uman and me and Jolene privately on a regular basis. There's good people everywhere. People who don't communicate with us, I know you're out there. I can sense you. There's good people. They don't want to talk. They don't want to share operational security, their jobs, their names, their lives. They're just being very careful, and I respect that as well. Other people like Chin, people like Darcy, people like Bonnie Blue, people like Ooman. We're all on lists and proud of it. In fact, I made sure I'm on a list today. Kamala Harris decided she, in her infinite wisdom, was going to post directly to Twitter her salvation plan, not for the Prepared Mind family, not for you and me, not for the people in North Carolina, or for the people of Florida along the coast, or for people in Tennessee or South Carolina or even Georgia. No, Lebanon. She's going to give a shit ton of money to Lebanon. Now, you might say, well, I mean, that's kind of charitable. Actually, there really is no government in Lebanon. Did you know that? Let that sink in again. They're going to give, what, $157 or $167 million to Lebanon. If there's no government in Lebanon, who is going to be there to receive the money? What account does that go in? Who gets to control it? Well, I'll tell you, Hezbollah. There is no legitimate government in Lebanon, in my opinion. Now, if we can, let's go back to the beginning of this series of messages to all of us from Chin Music, if we can. He says, if the commie response to the tragedy in North Carolina doesn't wake you from your slumber and teach you that you're on your own, nothing will. Now, you see this cone here, right? You see Jacksonville at the north end. I hope you're going to make it up there, John. Hope you got your power back. Come down here to, well, Gainesville, the birth of Gatorade is right around in there. Then you get down to the Tampa area, then down to Fort Myers. Fort Myers is where Hurricane Ian absolutely destroyed it. And then you got the southern edge here. That's Naples, Florida on the coast, extremely wealthy, right? That hurricane that's coming is going to just wipe out some section of the state. It's going to wipe it out. I know I am not going anywhere. Where are you going to run? They're claiming it's going to be a Hurricane 3. But local weathermen and local experts are saying by the time it gets up here, it's going to be a level 4 hurricane. I'm not leaving. Where am I going to go? I could go north. It could follow me north as fast as I drive north. In fact, everyone all up and down the state, once you get on the freeway, everyone else is there. There's nowhere to fucking go. You want gridlock or bunker in? Folks, I'm going to bunker in. I'm going to stay right here. And unlike the other hurricanes that have not really come all that close to me, because I'm inland a little bit, I'm going to go out and broadcast in the storm. I'll do that for you guys if you want. Unless there's like giant chunks of houses flying by. I'm going to leave the safe confines of the bunker and go out above ground broadcast. Does everyone want that? Yeah, hit thumbs up if you want to see that. Just hit thumbs up, period, for the video. Share the internet address. And, of course, if you want to comment, you've got to be a subscriber for 5 minutes. Subscribe. Stay on for 5 minutes. You can comment in the comment section. Super chat button is right up here if you have something you want to talk about. If you want to talk about any topic, it doesn't have to be the hurricane. It can be what Chin Music's talking about. The commie, as in communist, as in anti-America. Because in order for the communists to take over this country, guess what? They have to destroy this country, America. They have to get rid of the Constitution. They have to destroy unity, a love for country. They have to divide us and get us fighting amongst each other. And that's what the communists are doing. With respect to destroying this company or country, Chin, you're right. North Carolina, there's a lesson. The government did not come. It will not come. Finally, some state units have come. One sheriff had to throw FEMA out of his county. And remember, a sheriff is the highest elected official at the county level. He is the chief executive of the county of law enforcement, and he can throw federal agents out of his fucking county. And he did. Anyways, it's going to be nasty, folks. If nothing has woken you from your slumber, including the last hurricane, wait until this next one hits. Wait until. Now, Chin Music is a very skilled individual in the, shall we say, physical arts. But he apparently has not mastered the rifle. He's going to do that. That is good. Very good. On the 14th, he's going to get very proficient. He's proficient with handgun, knives, other objects. Very similar also. I would recommend everyone visit the Urban Aboriginal channel. The Urban Aboriginal. He teaches some basic combat skills using a stick. You think a stick isn't useful? I watched a video of a guy fighting off three, let's just call them very, very primitive-minded locals, fighting them off with a hand and then getting beaten with a stick and taking the stick and beating them back. A stick, folks, is an incredibly powerful weapon, but don't bring a stick to a gunfight. That's what I'll tell you right there. I myself, knowing what's coming here in Florida, am prepared with shotgun, rifles, handguns, lots of knives, lots of sticks. You got to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. He is absolutely correct. Chin Music is. We are on our own right now. Right now. Yeah, these skills will be needed soon. My skills will be needed starting Wednesday. The skills up here have already been put to work. I am fully prepared. And I've got energy, I've got defense, I've got medicine, I have protection. It's going to get ugly. This thing could hit where I'm at head on. Could. You guys and your support has been absolutely awesome. Without you, I couldn't be as ready as I am. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Your guys' generosity in keeping this channel alive has helped me stay prepared. Thank you, and thank you. Now, let us, if we shall, move to Darcy T. Darcy T. She has done a $50 super chat donation through PayPal. Down below are PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, and the thepreparedmind.club, where you can go and you can get your question right here on the screen. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Uman, while I pour Darcy T's scotch that she has purchased. And it's really a good way to get me going, folks. This is a 2-hour broadcast. And mixing coffee, Kraken, and scotch. Woohoo! Down the hatch. Oh, man. Like mother's milk. Okay, Darcy T says, good evening, John. What are the odds that Hurricane Milton, which is the one that's supposed to strike me on Wednesday, came right on the heels of Helene? And of course, FEMA has no funds to provide assistance, but billions to go to Ukraine without a peep. We prepare for power outages, flooding, food shortages, etc. But who plans for the type of devastation that Helene caused? That wasn't the remnants of a hurricane gone inland. That was a rain bomb dropped off the unsuspecting people of North Carolina. Salute. Darcy T, thank you again for the great donation supporting this channel. And I'll tell you what, the people in North Carolina, they're not unfamiliar with hurricanes. Back in 1989, I was in North Carolina, Cherry Point, United States Marine Corps Air Station, and Hurricane Hugo came through. Hurricane Hugo. Didn't cause the damage we were anticipating, but it did cause a lot of damage up and down the coast. Hurricanes are bad things. The reason I brought up Hugo is that's North Carolina. The Carolinas, Georgia, South and North Carolina, even Virginia. Hell, Hurricane Sandy took out New Jersey and New York with a massive storm surge. And I'll tell you what, they may have been unsuspecting, but they knew it was coming. The warnings were there, but getting prepared is not a 1 hour event. It's not a 1 day event. I mean, you can run out and buy the few things you think you need, a little bit extra water, maybe some extra fuel. You can go out and do that stuff, but getting ready is mainly up here. The prepared mind. How can you have all the items you need if you're not prepared up for here, right? How do I need food? How much food? What kind of food? Water. Do I need to get water, buy water, make water, dig for water, transport water? Shelter. Where's the best place to be? Can I have a second shelter? Am I just going to bunker in? Right? Clothing. What do I wear? What's my environment? How bad could it get? Do I have enough clothing? Are there other people I need to worry about? Medicine. Do I have a medical condition? Do I need mild first aid? Do I have antibiotics? Do I have the first aid kit I need? What if there's other people that need first aid? And of course, self-defense. In the event of any emergency, law enforcement can be overwhelmed. The people in North Carolina, once they're cut off, no one's coming to save you. Nobody. If things go bad, if you have a bunch of, let's just call them illegal immigrants who don't think like we do, and they realize there's no law enforcement in your area or mine, who's going to defend who? Protect who? And finally, your own fucking neighbors. Your own neighbors. I have watched this last week. Follow me here. I have watched since Hurricane Helene came up the coast, starting at Fort Myers, Tampa, all the way up to what's called the Big Bend, where that blew through Tallahassee, Kraken and Scotch. People have had their shit destroyed in my state, Florida, all along the coast. It's like a fucking weed eater just trimming the edge of the lawn, just spinning, just chewed up the fucking coast. The people that have been affected, there's two types, folks. Just like there's God-fearing, America and freedom-loving good people, and then there's left-wing, hate-filled jackasses who won't lift a fucking finger to save themselves, but demand everyone else kiss their ass and give them for free. Entitlement. And folks, I have watched and listened to them over the last week go from grouchy to irritated to abusive to giant fucking assholes in a matter of 5 days. They're not starving. And the people that were affected are rich. They're wealthy people by any standard. By any standard. When you sit on a piece of property and you're worth $1.5 to $5 million fucking dollars and you want to be a giant dick about it, you got no problems other than yourself. The people around you. I have told you, bam, there you are, 10-mile radius around you. Anyone within 10 miles can get to your house, your bunker, your safety, your place, your harbor, your safe harbor within a day, walking. Self-defense. That's what Chin Music is doing on the 14th of October. He's going to become proficient with a rifle. I have 2 riot shotguns, 2 AR-15s, and 2 serious motherfucking pistols. And when I say serious, I mean, if you get within range of my rifle too close, you're going to be meeting Smith and Colt, and you won't be happy to meet them. This is what I am facing coming up starting Wednesday. There's a bunch of people who have been hurt all along this coast. Those people have been hurt, and guess what? They're going to get hurt even worse. The same people are going to get devastated. And I'm going to live through it all, folks. I will share it with you. I'll share with you my daily struggles that I know are coming, because this fucking hurricane is supposed to hit very close. And I want you to see how the fuck people act. I will take you with me out on the fucking street. If I can't get the Prepared Mind truck out, I'll get the Prepared Mind scooter. I'll get the fucking scooter out because it can zigzag in and around trees and blown down power lines and everything else. I'm going to get out and check shit out. I know Man would be proud of that. Of course, he's got he had a hog, a Harley, and a nice one at that, I'll tell you. I can't afford one of those. I've got a fucking scooter. But I will get out. I will go check shit out. And people will probably be mad about that too. How are you doing driving around while the rest of us are all fucked up? Well, I'll tell you why, dickhead, because the rest of America wants to see what's going on. Now, I am now wound up on coffee, 2 shots of scotch, and a bunch of Kraken, and I'm ready to crack one open. Okay. Oh, shit, I need to answer Darcy's question. What are the odds that Hurricane Milton came right on the heels of Helene? Really fucking low. Really low. I think back in the early 2000s, Florida had a total, trust me here, of over 18 different hurricanes hit Florida one way or another. 18 in one fucking year. One hurricane season. That's on the wall at my barber shop, where I go in and there's old newspapers all over the wall going back to the 50s. Bunch of old fucking men come in there. And I say old, I mean fossils, as well as us younger vets go in there and get our hair cut. And it's the old kind of military haircut where they shave along your neckline, shave your back hair off. They do a good job. Great barber shop. Anyone comes down here to Florida where I'm at, I'll direct you over there to, shit, I almost said their fucking name. Anyways, the odds of Milton coming to smack, well, Helene went this way, Milton's going this way. They're not going to fucking miss us. I wonder if they're trying to kill me, for fuck's sake. Literally. But she wrote, of course, FEMA has no funds to provide assistance, but billions go to Ukraine and hundreds of millions go to other countries. I think they're even proposing more billions to go to Ukraine coming this week. Now, power outage. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for power outage. I've got generators, solar, batteries, not to mention hand crank radios and other forms of communication, walkie-talkies, shortwave radio, ham radio. I'll be able to communicate out one way or the other. I may lose. If you don't hear from me, it's just because communications are cut. We'll find out. Flooding. My area, good chance of flooding. Food shortages, you bet. By the way, this fat man is not going to lose any of his fat. Well, maybe a little bit. I've got preps, folks. I've got preps. And I recommend anyone who wants to get prepared with long-term food storage. I really love the Thrive Life products, folks. I hope there's still a link to them or one of our distributors on the preparedmind.club, CLUB. The Prepared Mother used to sell it. I think she still does. I hope she still does. I hope it hasn't quit and I didn't know about it. But I took that food with me to the RMZ in 2020 when I left for the jungles of God knows where. I took 2 weeks of commando chow, Thrive, and I survived on it. It wasn't easy. Sometimes it wasn't fun. Hard to get a fire going when everything is soaking wet in the jungle. Anyways, food shortages, look out. But Darcy asked this, who plans for the type of devastation that Helene caused? I have. Who plans for the type of devastation that Milton is going to cause? I have. Food, I've got it. Water, I've got it. Shelter, I'm bunkered in. Literally. Clothing, of course. I've got gear from when I was a jarhead. I've got gear from when I was a fucking teenager, for Pete's sake. Literally. I found my machete today, or rather, I located, identified, and made sure I understood where my machete is that I've had since I was 16. Because, you know, you meet a crazed, wacko, terrorist, fucking anti-American, anti-Christian, anti-freedom Jihad Joe. And he wants to have a machete contest. Well, I'll bring a machete, but I'll probably use the gold cup. Anyways, these fucking people. All right, who plans for it? I have. When I came back to the South in general, the South being all this area, when I came back to America from the RMZ, I said I was going to the South, and I found a really good place down here in Florida, politically, economically, spiritually, politically. I know I said that. That's important. And shall we say, militarily. There's a shit pile of fucking veterans in my area. Anyways, here we are. And I know I've been jacking my jaw. 2 super chat discussions, very important. And I think it's time to get to you guys some more of your stuff. We're 30 minutes in. We're going to go 2 hours plus. What do you want to talk about? What is happening in the world? Are you ready? Are you aware? Let's do it. We got Man in the hot seat. We've got 400 people live. Hit the thumbs up. Share the internet address. Make sure you are a subscriber and you can chat after 5 minutes. And we got Bioxo77 with a $1.99 super chat, and he gives us a loud America. You're on, Bioxo. Thank you. And he says, amazing how hurricanes all of a sudden go beyond science, go beyond everything, and steer themselves and pop up heading in the wrong direction in the Gulf. Well, man, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Let's move along, folks. Just take your fucking medicine. Take a 2x4 blown by a fucking hurricane right up the anus. No problem. Nothing to see here. We're going to fuck up the voting in parts of North Carolina, fuck up the voting in parts of South Carolina, and they're definitely going to try and fuck up the voting in Florida. You know what's funny about that? See this area in Tampa? It's kind of blue. It just turned red, but it's mostly blue. I won't say mostly. But Florida can survive losing a little bit here and a little down here. But the rest of the fucking state is red as fuck, except for Miami. Miami is full of Cubans. They're turning it red right now. But Cubans believe that people from the Middle East taste like chicken. So they better look out. Do not fuck with Cubans, folks. I've run into Cubans. They hate communists. They hate them. But yeah, nothing to see here. We're just going to destroy Florida top to bottom. In a way, I can see that these hurricanes are going to scare a lot of the newbies out of here. A lot of newbies showed up into Florida. They went to their vehicle and put a Salt Life sticker on it. It means you like the beach in Florida, Salt Life, right? They put Salt Life stickers on their stuff. And then the first thing that happens is they hear about a hurricane and they run for their lives. Ah! Folks, look, I've lived through fucking hurricanes. I've got 1, 2, 3, I think 4 under my fucking belt now. Serious wildfires, at least a fucking dozen in my lifetime. I remember in high school running from a fucking forest fire in my friend's 1964 T-Bird. It had the 360 V8 in it. and it almost broke down. We couldn't get it started. Yeah, that was good. Fucking raging infernos coming up a mountainside. It looked like Bambi when all the animals are running out of the forest because of the fire. Fucking deer and rabbits and bears and shit. That was happening, including dudes on fucking dirt bikes. Wah! Getting the fuck out of the way of this fire roaring up a mountain. I've survived hurricanes, fires, ice fucking storms, polar vortexes. Been on the fucking coast, almost taken out by a fucking squall that came up, right? I'll live through this unless a tree lands right on my fucking head. I got to the RMZ. Guess what was waiting for me there? A fucking hurricane. You can't kill me, not this way. I'll die of something stupid like choking on a French fry. Anyways, I don't even know how I got on this. I'm telling you what, that Kraken and Scotch is a unique combination. All right. Thank you, Biaxo. Man, who wants to step up next? What are we going to discuss? We've got Dan the Man Erickson in the house. Great sponsor and supporter of the Prepared Mind channel. He says, the Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday gave me a tear in my eye when the whole crowd started singing our national anthem. So I was sitting in the Prepared Mind bunker watching. I watched Laura Trump, wife of Eric Trump, son of Donald Trump. I watched Eric and Laura on the stage talking, and then some other guys started talking. I made sure I had my popcorn and something to drink. And Trump got up there and started talking. And he started off with, as I was saying, first fucking words out of his mouth, as I was saying, and he looked up at the scoreboard, right, the Jumbotron, which he looked at the precise moment he needed to turn his head and have the bullet go right through his freaking ear and miss his skull. So he put the fucking slide up that was just there when he took a bullet for America, for me and you. Fortunately, he didn't take that bullet through the skull like John F. Kennedy. Back and to the left is what it would have been, folks. Back and to the left. It here instead of here. Or here. Or here. Back and to the left. It would have been bad, folks. It would have been fucking horrifying. But someone had a medical emergency in the crowd just off to the left. Trump saw it, stopped speaking, said, hey, get medical personnel over there who's concerned about this person. And then the crowd, without any prompting from Trump or anyone else that I know of, started singing our national anthem. And it struck me as well. The beauty of the crowd in chorus together, joined by President Trump. He was not on the microphone. We know that he probably has as bad a singing voice as I do, but he did sing it. And everyone together, whether they were too high, too low an octave, it doesn't matter. It was the chorus, singing it to the end. It was a thing of beauty. The idea of waving American flags, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, singing the national anthem and respecting it, people taking their hats off. Respect, love of country, pride in America, in our nation, our flag, our history, our culture, our Constitution. It was a thing of beauty, folks. It truly was. It truly was. It made me proud to be an American. And while we're talking about singing, there was an opera singer that came out at the end, and he sang the Nessun Dorma, which is about victory. I will conquer and victory at the end. It's opera. It's in fucking Italian. I don't know the words. I don't really want to know the words because it's beautiful. You understand it just by listening to it. Like listening to the national anthem. You don't have to know all the words. You don't have to understand exactly why it was written by Francis Scott Key. You don't have to know all that. You just have to realize the passion within the words, within the music, within the lyrics, within the expression of the singer. in context with our history is an incredibly beautiful thing. But when you do the opera, when they do the Nessa Dorma, when he says vincerò, right? And I know my Italian is awful. It means, I will win. Victory. Vincerò. Victory. It was just a thing of beauty, folks. We need to be victorious. We need to be victorious. And folks, Trump is not going to save us. Don't fool yourself. Don't kid yourself. And you know better. You and I, us, America, we are going to be the ones that save ourselves. No one's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. By electing Trump, we are sending a delegate with our demands to be free. We're sending our delegate to Washington to fight the deep state, to fight communism, to fight fascism, to fight big corporate interests, big banking interests, big the World Economic Forum Illuminati fuckers. Thank you very much, Mr. Erickson. Folks, there's so many of you I just can't wait to meet someday. I really want to. There's going to come a day. These communists are not going to go away. 420 people live. Let's go to 500. Thank you, Dan Erickson. One more time, folks. The hurricane that's coming, Hurricane Milton, is supposed to smack right the fuck into me. I'm going to be here. I'm not leaving. I'm not running. I'm going to stay here. I plan on broadcasting live from the hurricane time at times. Not the whole day. Not the whole day, but as many times as I can, as many times as I feel it's necessary to give you guys updates and show you what it's like to see what the fuck is going on here. We're going to find out. Yes, we will. Hey, who wants to be next on the Prepared Mind channel? And it is Lazarus Rex with a 1776 super chat donation. Lazarus says, haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you are doing well. I'll tell you what, Lazarus. Number one, thank you for the great donation. You guys make this channel stay alive. Thank you. Number two, haven't seen you in a while. You're welcome anytime you want to come, man. If you want to be here Monday through Friday live with me, it's a $2 or more, whatever you want, donation at thepreparedmind.club. You go there, you subscribe on the premium. Bink, there's a premium button. Monday through Friday, you can be here live. Or you can just show up on Sunday Night Live. I don't give a shit. It's up to you, man. Just depends on how much information you want, how much you want to participate in the show. And I'm doing well. My health is always could be better. But here I am. I'm doing well today, surviving Helene. And now we have Mr. Rex, Hurricane Milton, essentially coming right at me. It could turn and miss me to a degree. It could turn and just smack the fuck out of me. Thank you, Mr. Uman. The daily live streams right there, preparedmind.club or subscribestar.com. Go find this on the Prepared Mind. Same story at either two. And that gets you into the Prepared Mind channel Monday through Friday. But Sunday Night Live is the zoo. It's open to everyone. But if you want to say something, if you got a story to tell, a thought, prediction, observation, story, you want to share something, you just want to ask a question, get your question on the screen. Super chat button right up there gets it done. Ooh, man, who do we want to do next? We've got, holy shit, Inigo Montoya. I do not think that means what you think it means. He says, I do not think emergency management means what they think it means. Okay. This, you know what's incredible is Inigo Montoya was a great character from the movie The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride, interestingly, was a movie that was directed by the asshole Rob Reiner. Meathead from Archie Bunker, All in the Family, from the 1970s. Thank you, Inigo Montoya. But it's a great movie. It's got fencing, fighting, pirates, revenge, true love. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's just a classic, great movie. And this character, Inigo Montoya, he's the revenge character. His father is slayed by the six-fingered man, Count Rugen. And Inigo Montoya looked for him his whole life, finally found him. It's a great movie. Semper Fi to you, Inigo Montoya. Thank you for the great donation. Mother's milk. Good golly. All right. Emergency management. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. It's supposed to protect you and me, all of us, in the event of an emergency. Hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, forest fires, anything that is an emergency. Anything that's an emergency on the grand federal scale. Emergency management. How do you manage a fucking emergency? You can imagine an emergency response, but these people have demonstrated they can't do anything about emergencies, nor can they respond properly. Look, the Democrats have obstructed and done a piss poor. Actually, I'm going to say this. I think that they have done a criminally neglectful thing with the response, the emergency management response to Hurricane Helene. They did a piss poor. I think they intentionally did it. They have stopped shipments of food, stopped shipments of generators, fuel, support, medicine, everything. They literally stopped it. They confiscated stuff. Starlink was sent by Elon Musk, and numerous law enforcement agencies said without those Starlink units, their officers in their law enforcement, sheriff, police, whatever you want, could not communicate with one another because all their radios were down. Shit was fucked up. Starlink got things working, and FEMA tried confiscating them. People were threatened by law enforcement. They were Democrats. Threatened by them. We'll arrest you. Fire captains threatened to arrest people for trying to help people by bringing food, water, rescuing them. They were arrested, folks. Literally, law enforcement went in and arrested these motherfuckers. Law enforcement, good sheriffs went in and kicked FEMA out because emergency management to them meant punish the people of North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, anyone who needed help. Amongst the heroes of Hurricane Helene, not in Florida where I'm at, but I'm talking about up in North Carolina, law enforcement responded when and where they could. People with helicopters, private citizens using their own fuel, and yes, they too were threatened with arrest. You know what they got? They got the fucking bird. Get the fuck out of here. They took off on their helicopters. They took food. They took water. They took medicine, and they rescued people. There were mule trains. They were the heroes. And they went in with pack mules. Dozens and dozens of pack mules. Each mule can carry an incredible amount of weight, folks. If I told you a mule could carry 500 pounds, would you be shocked? You should be. They're incredibly rugged and sure-footed. Of course, you've heard the term stubborn as a mule. Well, when a mule has it in its mind to do its job, it's equally just as stubborn. Will not quit, and it gets the job done. They took in food, fuel, supplies, medicine, and rescued people. The fucking hillbillies of the Appalachians hiked in, took in their quads, their razors, went through creeks, canyons, everything to rescue people and bring in supplies. It was the people that did it, not FEMA. So Inigo Montoya, I do not think emergency management means what they think it means. It's inconceivable to think that emergency management, FEMA, can do their job because they have never done their job. They even say they ran out of fucking money while they continue before, during, and after Hurricane Helene, sending money to other countries across the ocean. while telling the American citizens who produce, are taxed, telling them basically go fuck yourselves. All the while saying they'll give money and support to illegal aliens. In fact, the FEMA fuckstick. Get this. You want to be pissed? The FEMA fuckstick said, we don't want FEMA goods distributed through churches because they were afraid that churches would treat transgender illegal aliens poorly. As if we're supposed to worry about a transgender fucking illegal alien up in the Appalachians? Is that where they go? Seriously. If I was a transgender illegal alien, would I go hide in the fucking crevices? The fucking mountains, the Appalachians? I do not think it means what you think it means. Inigo Montoya was a Spaniard for the movie. It was great. Great movie. Thank you very much, Inigo. You're here every week. I appreciate it. Everyone that comes here every week, share that internet address. We're at 450 plus live right now. I want to hit 500. Share the internet address. Thumbs up tells YouTube, go fuck yourself. People like this channel. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm rough. I'm coarse. I'm fucking nasty. I'm a veteran. I'm an American. I'm a taxpayer. I'm fucking pissed off. We all need to get prepared. We've got an election coming. We need to vote. We need to stop the cheating. We need to make it so they can't cheat by voting so thoroughly, getting people to register to vote fully. Man, I tell you what, I'm fucking stoked. And I'll get a good night's sleep. I will spend the next 2 days of my work getting other people prepared as best I can in Florida for the coming Hurricane Milton. I'll do my best to help others. At the same time, I need to make sure I am fully prepared and people in my neighborhood are fully prepared as best I can. And you guys have helped me tremendously. Thank you so much. Let us continue. And it's Boomer from Canada with a $20 super chat donation. And he says, my cousin who lives in Tennessee just told me that there's a murder a day now taking place. And she's worried that her house might be next. I told her that if Harris gets in, there'll be nowhere to move. Harris, most people call Kamala, right? But it's Kamala Harris. Kamala, camel toes, the big whore. It's kind of like Hillary. If you said vote Clinton, people think, you mean Bill, Slick Willie? No, they just called her Hillary. Hillary for president, 2016. Remember those fucking tears? All the tears, all those Democrat, communist, socialist pieces of shit cried the day after the election. I want to see 10 times the tears when Kamala is fucking creamed. And if Harris gets in, there'll be nowhere to move. Well, you can live at a place with this level of danger under camel toes, or this level of danger, or anywhere in between. You can move, but you're not going to escape the shit. You're not going to escape the SHTF because it's going to hit the fan everywhere. But I would advise you to put yourself in the best location. Know, if you can, the very best people you can. And you'll see. Now, Friday night, a friend of mine said, let's get some pizza. I'll take you out to pizza. I know a great pizza shop. Friday night here in Florida. So I went to the pizza shop and it was full of good people. Everyone was enjoying a good slice of fucking New York style pizza. And I got to tell you, it was damn good pizza. But everyone there got to look at me. Everyone there. Nobody said, hey, John. Nobody said, hey, it's the prepared mind. But people fucking looked at me. People were polite to each other. They were friendly. They gave me high fives, hand fucking gestures. People were like, hey, it's you. And I tell you what, everyone was looking at everyone else like they were their best friends and their allies. I felt welcomed. I felt needed. I felt respected. That's how it should be in America. Like I said, I've been other places, and it's these fucking Democrats. Even one that doesn't live too far from the Prepared Mind bunker, an old nasty bitch got on Facebook and said some nasty shit about people. And I thought, you rotten old bitch. Who the fuck are you to criticize other people for taking care of themselves by being prepared? That's right. There's a prepper. Preppers all around me. This bitch had to criticize us. Anyways, there'll be nowhere to move. Nowhere is going to be fully safe, in other words. And I'm sorry to hear that your cousin is dealing with people in her neighborhood, in her town, getting murdered. Oh, it's going to get bad, Boomer. It's going to get bad. Thank you, brother, for being here every single week and doing what you do, bringing great topics to the table and personal. This is personal, folks. This is his cousin who's scared to death. She is a woman. She might be next. That is why it is critical to be having everything you need to be prepared, especially self-defense. Self-defense. I gave a box of 38 special plus Ps to a friend and said, you need these for your pistol. It doesn't do you good to have just 6 rounds, because when you're done shooting those, you're going to need some more. And I got plus Ps because it's essentially a 357 round at that point. 125 grain, super hot 38 specials. And I was like, well, I was told, well, my wrists, they hurt when I shoot, 357. I said, well, when it's your life and the lives of your friends and family, you won't feel a fucking thing. You'll be so hyped up on adrenaline. You can shoot plus Ps. Anyways, get your self-defense, folks. Get it. All righty. Thank you, Boomer. Ooh, man, who wants to step up next? Who has something to say? We've got a super chat button right up there. You want to talk about anything in the world having to do with what's going on in the world? I'll get you on the screen. I'll make you famous. Whether you want to talk about the past, the future, the news, your own stuff, whatever, this is it. Bioxo says, hurricane footage with the American flag blasting metal. Now you're telling me I get to have a soundtrack? All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm going to get hurricane footage. I'm going to do my best to have an American flag with me. Of course, I don't want it knocked out of my hand and get soiled, but I'll do my very best. As far as blasting metal, it'd be some good stuff, I got to tell you, but you won't be able to hear it over all the wind. We're expecting anywhere from, 80 mile an hour winds up to 140. Depending on where the eye is, it's going to be a fucking mess, Biak. So thank you for the great super chat donation, Mr. Ooman. What is up next? We got Chin Music with a $4.99 super chat donation. And he says, you can do some serious damage with a simple kitchen broom. And he ain't shitting. He really isn't shitting. Like I said, everything becomes useful. Everything becomes useful. Let's see. Humans' first weapon was a stick. It's in our genes. If you've got even 1% Neanderthal in you, even 0.5% Neanderthal, not everyone has 5.5% Neanderthal. So, anyways, simple kitchen broom. They had a stick, and then someone said, I'm going to sharpen that stick. And then someone said, I'm going to heat temper that sharpened stick. And then someone said, hey, I got a sharp rock I'm going to put in the tip of my sharp stick. And then we got a spear. But anyways, yes, anything you have can become a self-defense item, a useful one at that. Just remember that, right? And I think it was Albert Einstein who says, I do not know how World War III is going to be fought, but I do know that in World War IV, they'll be using sticks and rocks again. That's the fear of where we're at with World War III, folks. World War III, nuclear destruction. I do not know who or how and who's going to claim victory on that, but yeah, the next war after that is going to be using sticks and rocks. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. And man, let's do it again. Who's up next? We've got my brother Orlando with a $5 super chat donation. He says, vote for me because I'm not freaking 95 years old and I still remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Well, I'll tell you what. Sounds like those are the qualifications Kamala has. That's right. She's not 95 years old like Joe Biden. And she remembers what she did 5 minutes ago. She remembers exactly what penis she had in her mouth 5 minutes ago. Now, 10 minutes ago, that's pushing it with her brain power. But 5 minutes, I'm sure she can handle that. Really, what other qualifications does Kamala have? She told a camera person, the media shouted questions at her as she was heading to Air Force Two, right, to get on the plane. She actually turned around to talk to the media. She had a pre-prepared short statement, and she cut loose and delivered it brilliantly. Yeah, we here at the White House are proud of our response on Hurricane Helene. And right there, I was like, cut. Proud of your response. Proud of FEMA's failure. Proud of offering, folks, they did not offer $750 to people who have been affected by Hurricane Helene. They offered a $750 loan. It was not a grant. It was not a gift. It was not supplemental. It was not relief. It was a fucking loan. And people have tried to get just the loan, and guess what? Crickets. Denied. Meanwhile, there's plenty of money to give illegals relief. There's plenty of money to send to Ukraine, plenty of money to send to Lebanon, plenty of money to put on a plane and ship to Iran and say, please stop fighting over there in the, right. How many billions has Kamala, Biden, and Obama sent to Iran? I believe it's at least $10 billion fucking dollars. Yep. We're sending money to Ukraine to what? Repair damage, repair roads, repair bridges. Isn't that what we need in America? Anyways, Mr. Orlando, thank you, sir, very, very much for the great donation and the subject matter. Good stuff. Okay. Hey, man, I know you got stuff on your mind. People got stuff on their mind. We got lots of stuff on our mind. I got a bunch of stuff on my computer, and it's Nancy Keg checking in. Nancy, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe. She's got a $10 super chat donation and says, thank you, John. Semper Fi. Stay safe to all Prepared Mind family members down there. There's a lot of us down here in Florida. I've looked at some local social media just to see who's outside my 1 mile radius, right? They got me, 1 mile, and then the 10-mile radius. There's people that are preppers up to and around, I think, a 25 to 30-mile radius that hit in my social media networks locally. And there's a lot of preppers out there. There's a lot of good Americans. Some are scared. Some are concerned. Some are just worried to death. Others are proud to be American, proud to be preppers, and they're proudly helping people. It's going to get crazy, crazy, crazy. Thank you, Nancy, for the great super chat donation. You're here every week. And in fact, you're here every day, Monday through Friday at the club and subscribestar.com. If you've got something to say, super chat button's right up there. There's a lot of topics out there. A lot of topics. $50 super chat or more, of course, gets me a scotch. All super chat donations keep the lights on in the bunker, keep me in this chair, my happy ass, letting you know what the hell's going on all over the world. You need food, water, shelter, clothing. You need medicine and a means of self-defense. But for God's sake, whether you get the information from me or you get it from the rsyndicate.com, hopefully Uman can put that up on the screen. The rsyndicate.com was created, started, owned, run by Uman. And essentially there you'll find all prepping channels, all Patriot channels that he's put there so that you can get the information you need. The information I bring every day is what the fuck is going on from sea to shining sea and across the sea, this way and that way, so that we know what the hell is happening, so we can see it coming. Whether it's the war between Ukraine and Russia, all the idiots in the European Union, or down in the Middle East between Israel and the 7 countries that are attacking them, or whether we're talking about China, and Taiwan and North Korea and what's going on in the Pacific theater, what's going on with the invasion coming out of Africa, South America, and the Middle East, sending the worst of the worst into Europe and over to the Americas. They're sending their most idiotic, their most inbred, literally inbred. These people are literally inbred. IQs between 60 and 70. But they're not like Forrest Gump. They are not good tards. They are bad tards. Anyways, here it is. The addresses for the preparedmind.club and also the rsyndicate.com is a free, comprehensive prepper directory. Woodscraft, how to prepare your own long-term food, short-term food, gardening, self-defense, everything is there. Medicine, prepper nurse we talked about the other night. I think that was Friday on the Friday free-for-all. But folks, look, on Friday, I thought, well, we made it through Helene. We're done. Right here. Hurricane Milton is coming. And it's going to smack Florida, folks. Somewhere between Tampa and Fort Myers is the prediction. They're going to try and kill us with another fucking hurricane. I don't see this as a coincidence. And by the way, hurricanes don't start in this section of the Caribbean. I'm sorry, Gulf of Mexico, and then head that way. Why? Because the trade winds go that way. Hurricanes start in Africa, come all the way across the Atlantic, and they hit inside the Caribbean and inside, and sometimes they hit Florida. Sometimes they go up north and get New York like Hurricane Sandy. Sometimes they go down south and they hit Venezuela and Colombia. But now we've got them coming from every which way fucking direction. All right, thank you, Uman. I think we've got some more super chats out there. And all you got to do, if you've got a question, comment, thought, hit that button, get it down here. And here we are, Dan Erickson. Dan the man with another $5 super chat. And he says the red wave is real. This time it can feel it coming. When he says red wave, number one, this does not excuse us from getting out and getting into the election, voting, volunteering, stopping the cheat, stopping liars and thieves from trying to steal this election from us. They didn't steal it from Trump, folks. They stole it from us. The red wave means pro-America, Constitution, Declaration of Independence. That red America. Trump is going to be the presidential nominee to represent us in Washington, D.C. Elon Musk is on board. RFK is on board. Tulsi Gabbard is on board. Democrats are leaving their side of the aisle and coming over to the Republican side and voting. They're not going to change parties, but voting for Trump. Why? Because they are pro-America. It's weird to say a Democrat's pro-America. Isn't it fucking shocking? It's shocking. That guy is pro-American? Well, he's a fucking Democrat. I don't trust him further than I can kick his ass. But he's going to vote for Trump. He's coming out publicly saying it. The Republicans, we need the House. We need it preserved and our lead increased. We need to get rid of these fucking rhinos. The Senate, we could take the Senate back and then start getting rid of the fucking rhino Republicans there and put Trump in the White House and demand from him on a daily basis using the White House communications website to tell him This is the Constitution. Follow it to the fucking letter. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, all the way through to the fucking end. Every article. And convict all treasonous scumbags in Washington, D.C. Treason. You think what they're doing to the people in North Carolina? Taking away supplies, providing no money, arresting people for trying to help. That is fucking treason. The red wave is real. Yes. All of the battleground states have swung to Trump. Yes. Does that allow us to stop? No. You must continue to tell people to vote, get registered to vote, and vote for Trump. Not because Trump is the end all. He's not Jesus, but he loves America. I'll go with that any day over these fucking communists. Right? He's not George Washington, but he is Donald J. Trump. And I want these, get him in office and then yell at him. Arrest, arrest, arrest. Don't fucking talk about it. I don't want any committees. I don't want any investigations. Just go out and start arrests. The investigations have been done. We know who Peter Schiff is. We know who Nancy Pelosi is. We know who Chuck Schumer is. We know who Hillary is. We know who Obama is. We know who they are. Inside every agency, Christopher Wray and the FBI, toast. CIA, toast. IRS, United States Postal Service, you're fucking cheaters, every last one of you guys. Arrest them. Every voting district, we know who works. We know who works in these Democrat districts where they're going to try and cheat. Arrest them. We got fucking video of them cheating in 2020. You know what? They got presidential awards from Biden. The same bitches you see in the fucking videos cheating, you see with Biden getting a fucking presidential award. Now, back to the red wave is real, Dan. I'm fucking tuned up tonight. Caffeine and alcohol. Woo! Okay. The red wave. Some of these battleground states, Trump is up over 60%, while Kamala is down below 40%. Unheard of since Reagan swept the country. He cleaned the fucking floor with President Jimmy Carter, Democrat, who tried destroying America in the 70s with stupid. Kamala isn't going to try. She will destroy this country. Look at what they've done so far. The red wave is coming, meaning there is going to be a landslide win, but we cannot rest on our laurels. We cannot let someone else go vote. We can't trust other people will get the job done. We can't trust and hope that someone else will do what we know we need to do. So please get out there and get involved. Get people to register, get them to vote. Go volunteer at the polling place. Volunteer with your local Republican Party headquarters. I can feel it coming, yes, but I can feel the cheat, the lies. They're trying to get North Carolinians not to vote. They're trying to get Floridians not to vote. We've already been told, remember this, preppers, remember this, that Congress is talking about a mass casualty event and that they need special rules for them to follow so they can continue their government control of us. Well, fuck you guys. It's not about government control. It is government management, supposedly, on our behalf, you and me, Americans, right? But people in government in Washington think it. No. They want to control us. In fact, the whore of whores, Hillary Clinton, said it. She came right out on the news today, said it. She has called for the mass censorship of you and me, all Americans. She wants that. She wants absolute destruction of the First Amendment. No free speech. She said, or, quote, we lose total control, end quote. We lose total control because of free speech. Number one, does anyone remember where the Constitution says the federal government has total control of media, opinion, thought. And Americans, nowhere in here, nowhere in here does it say anything about the government has any control, much less total fucking control. Nowhere. And part two, who the fuck is we? We lose total control. No. This thing is we the people. Not we the deep state. The deep state. Everyone knows about the deep state, right?
They want to eliminate what they call the deep state. The deep state is a cadre of professionals dedicated to honoring the Constitution, the laws of this country, and carrying out the policies of the Congress and the President. The deep state dedicated to carrying out the policies of the President. The deep state dedicated to carrying out the policies of the President.
I hope you're enjoying the show, folks. The deep state, they're still trying to deny that it exists. Folks, we need to win 2024. We need to win big. Right? Then, folks, then the actual literal fighting begins. Then it begins, and we need to expose all Democrats, all rhino Republicans, like Mitch McConnell, I'll name names. And Congressman Kevin McCarthy, I'll name names. There's a lot more names than just those two. No mercy, folks, for traitors. No mercy is allowed. Being merciful to the enemy is allowing the enemy to live another day and attack us. As cold as that may seem, folks, if you had a murderous, rabid wolf running through your neighborhood, eating, biting your pets, would you show it mercy? If you had a murderous, rabid wolf in your neighborhood eating children, would you show it mercy and let it live? No, you put down murderous, rabid wolves. And they're doing worse than killing our animals and killing our children and destroying me and you, adults, and our property and our wealth and our retirements, collective. People in North Carolina, up that way. People in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee died because of these fucking traitors. And their pets and their livestock and their property destroyed. Destroyed, absolutely destroyed. You're going to tell me once we catch them and they say, oh, sorry, it won't happen again. Really, you caught me. I was a bad boy, bad girl, whatever. It's not cold, folks. It's called justice. And traitors, whether they get the gallows or the guillotine, I don't care which, as long as they no longer can hurt children and animals as well as you and me. These are evil fucking people. They deserve nothing less than a short drop with a quick stop. Mr. Ooman, who's next on the Prepared Mind channel? Let's roll. Give it a thumbs up, folks. Share that internet address. And Frank Rizzo is in the house with a $9.99 super chat donation. And he says, how do we draft the senators? Oh, don't worry. They're immune from the draft. What he's talking about, folks, is the threat that we're going to go to war in the Middle East or against China or up in Ukraine to fight Russia. They want to draft your sons. They want to draft your daughters. What the hell? Why don't you just reassign a new gender to them? Hey, little girls, you're now boys. Sign up for the draft. They'll send your sons and daughters. They'll send your grandchildren to their death. These piece of shit senators. I'm talking about U.S. senators, folks, like that piece of shit, light in the loafers, Lindsey Graham. Fuck you, Lindsey. You know what he said? You know what he said this weekend? He's talking about the Middle East and how we need to send money over there and keep fighting that war. Completely ignoring people who are dying in his own fucking state. He's from the Carolinas. He's a Carolina queer. And guess what? He doesn't give a fuck about you or me. I think that if you want to go to war, you go to war, Senator and congressmen and bureaucrats in Washington. You send your sons and your daughters and yourself first. That's what leadership is about. I'm not going to tell anyone in my neighborhood, go do something unless I'm already doing it, willing to do it, and continuing to do it. That's what leadership is. I'm not going to give someone the shittiest job and then sit back on my fat ass while everyone else does the dirty work and enriches me. That's what these people are doing. How do we draft the senators? Well, you show up with, I don't know. Do you want to do tar and feather or just a fucking gunny sack over the head, tied around their waist with their arms pinned, and throw them in a fucking troop carrier and ship them off to war? That's how you draft senators. I am sick of these old fucks. Well, I'm too old. I can't be. Look, if our country's invaded, and it has been now, you and I, every one of us knows that we are responsible for ourselves, our family, our property, and our own states, protecting it from enemies, foreign and domestic. And guess what? We have enemies domestic here. They've been imported by our own government, just as King George, back when the Declaration of Independence was written, King George conscripted European mercenaries into our country to kill us Americans. Not to mention the Native Americans who were willing to work for the King of England to kill us. Murderous people hired to kill. What do you think all these illegals are here? We've known for years that they're bringing in mostly military-aged young men, and they're coming as murderers, rapists, thieves, drug dealers, and just plain old fucking terrorists from the Middle East, North Africa. And they're here to kill us, folks. These Venezuelan gangs that they brought up, they're now being arrested by police for drugs, prostitution, murder, violence, hostage taking, home invasion, etc. Are you going to protect yourself? Everywhere I go, folks, I have some beautiful 45 ACP Golden Sabers waiting to be deployed in defense of myself and my country. And it's completely lawful. It's also statutorily protected by the great state of Florida. I don't need that. Thank you very much. I have a constitutional God-given right to self-defense. It's called the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed. And I exercise that right on a daily fucking basis to protect my fellow Americans and my state. It could happen, folks. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Frank. Appreciate seeing you. Glad you're out there. I'm sure you're causing trouble as usual. Good deal. Make people think, folks. That's what the Prepared Mind channel is about, is making people think. I take some strange, unusual positions, talk about some strange, unusual things happening, because I want people to think. The Prepared Mind, folks. Mr. Man, where shall we go next? It is Boomer, and he's back with another $20 super chat donation. And he says, we need to support the Israelis who are now fighting for their very lives, which also affects the rest of the free world. I'll tell you what, the war in Israel, the war against Israel, there's at least 7 nations trying to destroy Israel. You know what's funny about this? Is it started with Israel fighting Palestinians down in Gaza, because the Palestinians love to shoot rockets and missiles into Israel. Their terror network was called Hamas, aka Ham-Ass. Ham-Ass on October 7th, 1 year anniversary is tomorrow. 1 year anniversary of the October 7th massacre, invasion, and attack by terrorists, by Hamas, by Palestinians against Israel was 1 year ago. They killed over 1,000 people. They kidnapped, they raped, they slaughtered pregnant women, the elderly, men, and even children, folks, and the unborn. And other countries over in the Middle East, folks, in Africa, in the Middle East. They don't want Palestinians. They have walls built 50 fucking feet tall, lined with Constantine wire, barbed wire, all the way up and at the top. So these Palestinians cannot get into Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, or anywhere else. Nobody wants them, not even other fucking Muslims. But Israel has to put up with their shit constantly, so Israel gets attacked. And Hezbollah, a multi-state international terrorist organization funded by and through Iran and supplied in and by and through Iran. And Iran has been given over $10 billion by Obama, Biden, and Kamala Harris. They said, we're going to kick your ass if you even try and defend yourself or exact retribution. In other words, trying to get rid of Hamas out of Gaza. And Israel said, we don't give a fuck. We're tired of being attacked. And they're attacking. They went after and they've destroyed Gaza. They went into and destroyed Hezbollah leadership in Iran and now in Lebanon. You see a missile dropped or a bomb, it blows up, and then you see secondary and tertiary explosions as ammunition and weapons dumps are being targeted and hit. It is nasty, folks. It is war. War is hell, and it is Armageddon. And what are we seeing up in Europe, up in Canada, over here in the United States of America? You've got pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah destroying our countries with their protests, their arson, their murder. You bet. Their threats against people in other countries, waving Palestinian flags, which is the symbol of anti-Israel and the symbol of anti-Christianity. Did you know, though, Lebanon is not pro-Hezbollah? Did you know that? In fact, there's no fucking government in Lebanon to speak of. It is a very weak government, if at all. But the Lebanese, folks, the Lebanese, the people of Lebanon are fighting Hamas, what's left of it that's up there, and also fighting Hezbollah. They're helping the Israelis fight them. They're helping them expose them. They're actually taking on the Hezbollah fighters individually. Did you know that Lebanon was once a majority Christian country? In fact, the entire Middle East was full of Christian communities. Syria, Jordan, the Coptics down in Egypt, Christians. But the Muslim takeover of those countries, as soon as they got enough people to start fighting and killing, they started taking over. And good little Christians allowed themselves to be slaughtered. You think for a fucking second this one is going to allow himself to be slaughtered? Or you? Or any of us up here in America? This is our country. Canadians, protect your country, boomer. Europeans need to protect their countries. And it's not, well, let's go out and have a parade with some fucking flags. You parade with flags after you defeat the enemy, not as a symbol of your resistance to being murdered by them. Oh, I'm afraid of the day that they're somewhere in the great state of Florida having their little parades with their Palestinian flags, because I won't allow it. Not going to fucking allow it. Not in my country, not on my watch. Fuck them. They hate America. They want to kill America. They've said they want to destroy America. They hate Christians. They've said they're going to kill everyone who is not a Muslim. They want to kill Christians, Americans, and white people. I'm all three of those things. You think I'm going to stand around and let them build up fucking forces and then come out publicly and start threatening? The fuck I will. I hope Americans are ready to defend themselves. Look what's happening in the Middle East. Look what's happening in many cities in the United States of America. Up north, of course, Democrat cities. They want to kill us all. So Israel are fighting for their lives. Don't worry, you're going to have a chance to fight for your own life as well. Whether you think the Israelis are just Israelis or whether you think they're the holy people in the Holy Land, I don't give a shit. But they are a people and they're fighting for their lives. And it will affect the rest of the world. Just as China wanting to be aggressive is a threat to the rest of the world. And the Europeans threatening nuclear war with Russia is a threat to the rest of the world. It's going to get ugly, folks. Shit has hit the fan. We've said it, you and me. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Getting a little thirsty here. Kind of like a cactus. All right. There's a lot of fucking Marines, soldiers, grunts, special forces, combat support. And they've all been trained up here in America. Our veterans have all been well trained. Sportsmen, folks, I don't mean to underplay the importance of hunters and sportsmen in this country. You don't have to be a veteran to be really scary with a rifle or a pistol or a shotgun. You don't have to be a veteran to understand a defensible position, a defensible home space. You just have to be aware and prepared, folks. You have to be aware and prepared. All right, let's do this. Man, we're at the 90-minute mark. Who wants to speak next? And it is Inigo Montoya, and he's back with a $4.99 super chat. And he says, you think Trump can present Kennedy, Musk, Gabbard, Vance, and himself as the Trump dream team? That's a lot of love for America. I tell you what, RFK Jr., I don't think is a massive conservative. In fact, to the contrary, I don't think so. But he does fight against vaccines. He does fight against the chemicals in food. And if he wants to fight that fight on the side of America, good. Tulsi Gabbard, I don't think is a very smart person when it comes to the Second Amendment and law. But if she wants to fight for America and free speech, I'm all for her. You know, Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat, also a veteran. She was put on the government watch list, the no-fly list, so that anytime she wants to get on a plane, I think it's got 4 S's on it, which means pull her aside, harass the shit out of her, and see if they can find a reason to stop her from traveling by air. J.D. Vance, USMC, Semper Fi to J.D. Vance. Not my primary first pick for president or vice president. He needs to do a little more studying on the Second Amendment, the real history behind it. But still, I think he's learning as he fights the real good fight, the importance of the Second Amendment. It is a deterrent to tyranny, knowing that we are armed and well armed at that. And I received a very nice second defense delivery from you guys. A very special person somewhere out there has made sure I have lots of extra ammo now. The Second Amendment. J.D. Vance is an attorney, I believe, and a well-spoken one at that. But to be a patriot, a real patriot, an American, you need to understand why the Second Amendment made it, why it has been important ever since the Revolution, and why the concept of self-defense has been important not since 1776, but for all of humanity's existence. Every fucking time a king, a czar, a prince, a prelate, anybody wants to take over a nation or a people's, the first thing they do is take away their weapons, be they swords and knives, cannons and blunderbusses, or rifles and machine guns and tanks. The first thing they do is take the weapons, and then they start taking lives. Kennedy, Musk. Elon Musk is not even a natural-born American, but he came here lawfully, became an American, thankfully, and he is supporting our Constitution, the First Amendment. If it was not for Musk spending $44 billion of his own money, folks, $44 billion of his own money to buy Twitter, which is now X, and open up free speech. If he had not done that, we would be suffering again continuously from, well, Twitter, if it remained Twitter, under that jackass Dorsey, YouTube, who's Susan Wojcicki, former CEO and controller there, dead. Literally, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, Google, they would have silenced and continue to silence us because Twitter, X is now wide open free speech. The others are now releasing people. In fact, I found it humorous. Bill Still of the Bill Still Report on YouTube is back. And he is a fucking fossil. He's an old dude. And he's back. They just reinstated his YouTube account. Bill Still and his Still Report. Good. Good for him. I hope that the other guy, Greg, what's his name? Greg, I can't remember his freaking name. Ooh, man, can you? No, I can't read the lips, dude. I'm deaf, but I can't read the lips.
Was that Greg Gutfield?
No, he's on Fox. Greg, he was a CNN reporter, and
I never watched CNN.
But he got kicked off of YouTube. He was growing great guns, you know. He ended up doing a lot of stuff with SGT Report. Maybe SGT Report will be back on soon. Anyways, free speech is a big deal. Elon Musk, thank God for that. Yeah, Greg.
Thank God for that, but I still don't trust him.
Oh, I don't trust. Look, I don't trust and then watch him.
Yeah.
Period.
He's doing a lot of good things right now, but you got to see what his ultimate end goal is and where he goes after this.
You're talking about Musk?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like his Neuralink chip.
No.
I don't want him to have a monopoly on the internet. I don't want him to have a monopoly on free speech through social media. I don't want him to have any of these people to have a monopoly or ultimate power and control. Fuck that.
Nope.
Because it can go the other way. Anyways, if the great guy comes up, you'll see it and know it and recognize it. I can't remember the name of his channel. It's been a while. I know he's out there on BitChute, on Rumble. He's out there. He's got his own. A lot of people set up their own channels the way we set up the preparedmind.club because I thought we were going to get wiped out too. But luckily, I was able to dance between the raindrops, took cover and conceal, kept firing my missiles. They never took us out all the way. I'm still here. They defunded the fuck out of us.
I did a quick search for SGT Report for Greg, and I'm seeing like a Greg Hunter.
Greg Hunter.
He's like does a lot of financial economy stuff.
He does a lot of financial economy stuff. He was a reporter. Yeah. Greg Hunter. Okay. I think it's Greg Hunter. Yeah. But he kind of partnered a lot with the SGT Report. SGT did a lot of powerful, good stuff years ago. They were exposing the child stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. That got him conged. Coming down on the commies. What do you got there? You're going to say something?
They lost me with the QAnon sense.
The QAnon sense went off the fucking rails. And they're trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
Do not rely on people who want to remain anonymous.
We haven't heard anything about this, or rarely heard anything about this in the last 3.5 years. And all of a sudden, I think I sent you a couple articles about 4 to 6 weeks ago, where all of a sudden you're seeing all this QAnon stuff, but it's no longer trust the plan. They changed the verbiage a little bit.
Yep. They got new slogans. No longer where we go one, we go all.
They're right.
Right. But they want to come back, and that is a complete political misdirection. It got people to sit on their hands, not give a shit, let it be someone else's problem. What have we been doing here? Telling you, think for yourself, gather all the information, and take action. Don't let other people take action.
Yep.
So anyway, people to vote. Anyways, Greg Hunter. Yeah, Greg Hunter.
All right. Well, I'll click off, and we got a couple more here.
All right. We've got 25 minutes to go. But as long as there's super chat donations, I will stay right here in the Prepared Mind chair. Once again, as Hurricane Milton powers up to at least a level 3, coming right at me in Florida. Ouch, that fucking hurt. Don't hit your elbow, folks. Pain. All right. Yeah. I'll be here all week long. Wednesday, it's supposed to impact. I'll be inside the hurricane with you guys. Show you what that shit's all about. There's fucking idiots here in Florida. They're like, I want to survive a hurricane. Well, it ain't that fun. What do you got, man?
Do we finally get to see that John the Prepared Cantori video that you've been pressured to make?
Yes. I'm going to make sure I've got water behind me that I'm going to tell you is like 20 feet deep, and like a poodle will walk through it. Yeah.
And if it's not raining, you got to get Lily to fire up some fans and spray the garden hose through it. And don't forget to kneel in puddles that are only like 3 inches deep.
No, they need
and then
to
have somebody go strolling by.
Yeah. I'll get that, and throw sticks at me and shit. Throw sticks and branches and leaves.
Right.
Like the wind is going to kill me. Yeah. I'll give you the Cantori treatment.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, I tell you what, it's. I know we're doing a lot of joking and laughing here, but people are suffering. Houses and lives and businesses and jobs have been destroyed. People have been killed. We try and keep it light, but hurricanes are dangerous, deadly business, folks. Governments are dangerous, deadly business. Period. And I want to do a big shout out for Governor DeSantis here in Florida. I know he and Trump duked it out quite a bit, and Trump attacked him and called him dirty names. That's fine. Hey, politics is dirty fucking business. But Governor DeSantis has done some great service to Florida and the country. And the moment those pieces of shit in the Longshoremen Trade Union said they're going to go on strike and intentionally fuck this country, Governor DeSantis said, not in my state. He sent in the Florida National Guard, said, go to the ports. You will take over. You will do the work. You'll unload shit. And guess what? Within fucking hours, the union settled. Oh, yeah, we'll take whatever you got. Because they didn't want to have their fucking jobs lost. They didn't want to lose their control. And they crumpled, folks. If Kamala Harris thought they were going to cripple the country and hurt us, and then have an October surprise of, look, I know how to negotiate. I saved the country by getting those unions back to work. Fucking bitch. Stole that ham bone right off her plate. Got the fucking stupid unions back to work. I tell you, folks, government is destructive. And it takes real patriots with power and a fucking backbone to get in there and stop them. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. All right, man. Do we have some super chats? What's going on? We're still above 400 people live, and it's Chin Music back. And he's got this great report. $9.99 super chat donation says, hey, SAPD, that's the San Antonio Police Department, arrested several members of this is a Venezuelan gang, and I'm going to fuck their name up intentionally. Tren de Araguay. They arrested a bunch of them in an apartment complex on the north side of San Antonio, 4 miles from my house. That's Chin Music's house. All of a sudden, the local Democrats are on alert. Fuck them. Yeah, now Democrats want to say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna stop this bad stuff. We're gonna stop, the evil people. We're gonna stop all of the illegals coming." Now they're gonna pretend at the last minute to give a shit about America. Fuck the Democrats. I tell you what, I bet it was local Democrats there in San Antonio with some moxie, some ability. They were probably getting scared. They were probably being affected. Wouldn't surprise me in the bit for them to go, no. We wanted the gangs to go fuck with the Republicans and regular America and scare them. Kind of like all the bastards back during the 2020 Summer of Love. All of the big shots at ESPN, CNN, MSNBC, MSDNC. They were all about the mostly peaceful protests and the mostly peaceful arson and the mostly peaceful murders and the mostly peaceful attacks on police. They were all for it until they got close to their homes. And then what happened? Hey, that's enough of that shit. Only you, my friends. Fuck the Democrats and fuck the Rhino Republicans. You know who they are. There's Republicans out there that are like, yeah, we immigration's good and spending money on worthless shit is good. They're Republican in name only, rhinos. Anyways, Chin Music, thanks for the great support. Ooh, man, who's next? Who is next? We've got Dan the Man Erickson back again with another $5 super chat donation. And he says, we cannot afford another big war in the Middle East. We are broke. Our nation is not just broke, man. We're in fucking debt up to the eyeballs. $35 trillion. That is just the debt that's on the books. That doesn't count unfunded liabilities. In other words, if you went to your retirement account, and let's just say after 40 years of working, you've got an IRA with $100,000 in it, and you borrowed your own $100,000 and just blew it on bullshit. You're like, holy shit, I maxed out my credit cards. I took a personal loan. My house is fully mortgaged, and I wasted my entire retirement package, but only in debt, the house mortgage and a personal loan. No. What about the $100,000? So America is in debt, not only the $35 trillion, but retirement packages for government workers, military pensions, Medicare, Social Security. Those are all things that we've paid into our whole lives. And the government just spent that fucking money. It's gone. They still owe us, me, you, all of us, military pensions, Medicare, Social Security. They just spent it all. Unfunded liabilities that are out there. We're broke. We're beyond broke, brother. We're beyond broke. No doubt. We don't need to go to war in the Middle East. We need to go to war in our own country to stop our own government from fucking us over and destroying this nation. And what is Kamala doing? What is she promising? Exactly that. Relief funds, according to Kamala Harris, need to go to people of color, not white people, because they're underprivileged. So they need money first, foremost, and fuck everyone else. That's what they think in their head. We're going to destroy America and do a wealth transfer. She's not even hiding her Marxism. It's out there on that whore's sleeve. We can all see it. She runs around with her ear piece that looks like an earring and her $62,000 necklace and her $770 Gucci belt. That's right. Someone got a picture of the belt she's wearing, found out who sells it, $770 for a fucking belt. And guess what? She offers Americans a $750 loan to help them deal with all the tragedy and heartache and loss. $750. That's one fucking shopping cart filled to the brim. One shopping cart of groceries. Woo! And they want to go to war in the Middle East, and they want to send money over to Ukraine, and they want to fight a war against China. Folks, China doesn't have to attack anyone to defeat America. You know what China's doing right now? They're buying gold. They're buying silver. They're buying real estate. They're transferring their currency over to a gold-backed currency. This month in October, there's going to be a BRICS meeting where they're supposed to, and they were supposed to last year and they didn't, but they very well may discuss their upcoming trade settlement, right? trade from country to country. There's settlement currency or rules. Russia just this weekend announced they will now be buying and stockpiling gold and silver. They've been stockpiling the gold. A few weeks ago, they actually said we're going to up the gold. And just this weekend, they added silver to it. They didn't say exactly how much. They just said, hey, by the way, we're going to be stockpiling silver. Silver is a strategic metal. Silver is an industrial metal. And silver is a monetary metal and has been for 5,000 fucking years. Crazy world. We can't afford a war, folks. How much gold does America have in Fort Knox? Supposedly, approximately 8,500 tons of gold. I believe China has about 5 times that at least. A ton is 2,000 pounds, and they have thousands of tons. I can't afford to go buy a fucking single ounce of gold. Not anymore. Those days are over. Anyways, folks, Dan, thank you very much. There's lots to talk about, folks. If you have something to say, if you got an idea, a concept, a thought, super chat button right up there. And I want to tell you something else. I want to tell you something else that's really important. There's some crazy stupid out there. And it's not just what you and I are facing. And it's not just America. It's the whole world. Right? The Italian deputy prime minister, his name is Matteo Salvini. He is now facing 6 years in prison as the Italian deputy prime minister because he refused entry into the country of Italy of a migrant boat. Now, some right wing, or rather freedom wing, let's call it freedom wing instead of right wing, Viktor Orban of Hungary and Geert Wilders of the Netherlands, they were holding rallies to try and support Matteo Salvini, to get more support for him. He's trying to protect his country. I spent the weekend talking to someone who travels around the world. It's just what they do. They travel around the world. They're old. They're fucking rich. They just got back from Italy, a couple trips this year. They said the south of Italy is fucked. South of Italy is fucked. It is full of scumbags, thieves, murderers, rapists, non-Italians. And they just keep shipping them in. The George Soroses of the world, the non-government organizations that want to flood Italy, France, Spain, Portugal. I had a coworker go over to London, Paris, Berlin, and Prague. Anyways, this friend of mine says Italy is just jam-packed in the south. And up north, a shit pile of Chinese. The fuck are they doing there? Right? You want to protect your country? In Europe, they're trying to throw their leadership in jail. We need to support our political leaders, tell them to free our fucking country, secure the border, and get these fucking people out of here. Trump is saying deport them. And it'll be difficult. It'll be hard. I don't think it'll be that difficult. I don't think it'll be that fucking hard. Just ask America where they're at, and they'll say they're over there. They're over there. They're in that apartment building. They're in that hotel. They're in that fucking neighborhood. Get them and get them the fuck out. Period. I don't care where they're from. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Ship them out. If they won't tell where they're from, ship them out. Who gives a fuck? If they're from South America, Central America, ship them back. If they're from the Middle East, ship them back. If they're from a North African country, ship them back. If they're from the Orient or Asia, I don't care. Ship them back. Let them figure out where the fuck they're at when they get there. The world has gone crazy stupid. Crazy fucking stupid. Anyways, folks, this is your show. It is Sunday Night Live. I got a hurricane coming to try and destroy the zoo. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? I'll tell you what, Boober was just talking about Israel, the importance of it. Get this. Today, a dumb ass, maybe it was yesterday, I don't know, this weekend, a dumb ass anti-Israel protester set himself on fire. In Israel? No. In Palestine? No. He did it outside the White House in Washington, D.C. I say that you and I need to support these Palestinian protesters. How can we do it? We need to send them more gasoline and matches. Because if they think setting themselves on fire is going to get them what they want, I think that is a much better option than setting our houses on fire and destroying our country. Fucking morons, folks. Self-immolation by flames, not good. Not good. I say support Palestinians by giving them matches and gasoline. I joke. I kid. But these people want to kill you. Trust me on that. There's no love for you and me, folks. No. There's no love for you and me. Oh, by the way, I haven't talked about it much lately. I have not. But I want you to this. That's right. Brought to you by the Clot Shot, the Jim Jones Juice. And thank you, Darcy T, for sending me this. A TikTok star. Dead. Suddenly. Age 25. The husband, Cameron Grigg, shared that his wife's death was both sudden and unexpected. Of course, they won't reveal the cause of death, family privacy. But I'm going to say, take a wild fucking guess. Take a wild guess. Now, of course, there's always medical issues when your brain is shutting down and your body's shutting down and your heart's fucked up and your lungs don't work. But death? Really? Age 25? I don't know who Cameron Grigg is, nor do I know who his wife is. And actually, we'll probably never learn the truth. But you can take a wild guess. Now, we're going to continue to talk about some shit here. Did you guys watch the presidential presentation from Butler County, Pennsylvania? They had that long-haired guy on there. Super long hair. Young man. Not the most masculine dude. Not the most macho. But he has been out there for years now getting people to register to vote Republican. Telling them why they should Republican or register Republican. Giving them a good understanding and education as to why they need to be Republican, register, and vote. He's a long hair. And he has busted his ass, and he's got nothing but 100% of my respect for doing this. He has flipped county after county after county in Pennsylvania and other places because he has expanded his network, and people are doing good work getting people to register. And then, folks, and he was there. It's just incredible. The fight to take this country back is real. Elon Musk actually went, and just a few months ago, he was just another guy. And then he said, I'm gonna support Trump. I'm gonna be a Republican. Free speech, super important. He was watching this country get destroyed by Kamala and fucking Hillary and dumbass Biden. So Elon Musk even appeared at the rally yesterday, was on the stage, right? And he says this, quote, "We had one president who can't climb a flight of stairs and another who was fist pumping after getting shot." Literally. That's right. The Joe Biden footage that I've used many times, that he can't climb a flight of stairs without tripping, right? But Trump gets shot and he stands up and fist pumps, fight, 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 right? It's a big deal, folks. Democrats right now are shitting their Biden briefs as more and more powerful men support Trump openly. The investment community, the political community, even some Democrats, folks. There's even some Democrats out there risking their political lives and their business lives who don't want to see America destroyed. They may want to be little cute socialists, but they don't want the country destroyed. Well, they're saying vote for Trump. Hold your nose and vote for Trump. It's incredible. Now, Camping World. There's a company out there called Camping World. And the CEO of this national chain of camping supplies, RVs, yada, 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 says he does not want Republicans to shop at his store. I would like you to do me a favor and honor the CEO's wishes of Camping World and don't fucking shop at his stores. Go somewhere else, anywhere else other than Camping World or Dick's Sporting Goods. Drink any beverage that isn't woke, like Coca-Cola. Fuck Coke, fuck Nike, fuck Dick's Sporting Goods. Target, that was selling satanic t-shirts and kids, weenie tuck underwear and boob smashing shirts. They're sick fucking people, folks. They're sick. And we need more good people standing up. And I think that Elon Musk is doing a great job of showing us, while nobody's perfect, right, that America is worth fighting for. Fighting for. Right? While the left is trying to destroy our country, absolute. The self-contradictory, lying piece of shit, Karine Jean-Pierre, you know who she is. She's the White House spokesmouth, spokesliar. She's the little non-American lesbian with a head full of curly fries who lies her ass off, lies and denies. She denies that FEMA resources have been used for migrants. But if you go back to 2022 and listen to her, and this is all over Twitter, it's all over YouTube, it's all over social media now, where she flat out contradicts herself. Oh, we don't use FEMA resources for migrants. We use FEMA resources for migrants. Fucking liars. It's just not going to get better, folks. It's not going to get better. I mean, I want to end the show unless more super chats come in, and I will stay here and answer your questions, comments, thoughts. And thank you guys for the great support. But Marxism is on the march in this country. While Americans are suffering and Florida is about to get smashed by another hurricane, Kamala Harris was bragging about what she did with her $157 million Lebanese giveaway. $157 million as the Southeast, our nation, is suffering through historic flooding and destruction. And FEMA admits that it blew money on illegals, that it won't give resources to Americans because we don't know how to treat illegal transgender fruitcakes. Kamala Harris is a World Economic Forum, New World Order whore. And she'll send our money to other countries, but she won't help you or me. Understand, folks, these people hate our country. Kamala Harris can't speak without a teleprompter, folks. She was trying to give another. In fact, she has been told, you need to do more interviews. The report coming out of mainstream media is she is not connecting with white men or black men. She's not connecting with Americans, period. She needs to do more hard-hitting interviews. But every time she tries doing any interview, the hard hits is she's punching herself. She was supposed to be speaking, and she ended up giving a word salad on Middle East affairs, with World War III and nuclear annihilation looming. She gave a speech. I listened to it for 20 seconds. I couldn't take anymore. I had to turn it off. She gave phrase after phrase after phrase, which were interconnected, no transition, no segue, and no sense at all. She is so fucking brain dead, folks. And Democrats are going to vote for her because they are so brain dead that they feel good about electing a fake black woman. Kamala Harris is Indian and white. India from Hinduland, India. And her Marxism comes from her own father, her Marxist beliefs. She is a whore. She is the side chick. And she will say and do anything that she's told. She could come out and say, look, I'm not black. But she won't. She'll pretend to speak ghetto and speak Southern and speak Northern and speak Eastern and speak West. She's all pretend. She is fake. And she's not a black woman, and all except the most hardcore brain dead Democrats know it and say it. I'm telling you, people who, if you tried looking at them and guessing their politics, are all over YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, testifying that they, as black people, will not vote for Kamala Harris or Democrats anymore because they've discovered that they've been treated like shit and lied to for decades and generations. There's a red wave coming. There's a red wave coming. But you and I, folks, do not sit back. Join the red wave and ride that fucking wave in, and let's crush the Democrats. And right now, I'm watching a hurricane heading this way, riding in to try and destroy me and Florida and good Americans. So please, if you can, support America, support, help, do all you can, and demand that FEMA and the federal government help Americans that are being crushed right now. Steve Demetrius is back with a $2 super chat donation to the Prepared Mind channel. And he says, on the bright side, what a time to be alive. I'll tell you what, Steve. How many people said, man, I should have been born during the American Revolution? I've heard people say it. Man, I wish I had been alive during the Civil War. Man, I wish I was alive during the Wild West. I wish I was alive during the exploration and discovery that you can sail around the world. Folks, this is one hell of a time to be alive. It's one hell of a time to be alive. But it's not easy. Sailing around the world at a time when you had wooden ships with sails and no motors, that was not easy. But it was a hell of a time to be alive. You know, European civilization visiting America and South America and Africa and the rest of the world. It wasn't easy and a lot of bad things happened, but civilization and standard of living was brought to the world. Hell of a time to be alive. Living through World War I and World War II. Hell of a time to be alive. But people back then, well, they say the World War II Americans were the greatest generation. I thought the revolutionary generation were the greatest. But this is a chance for you and I and us to preserve, defend, and restore our republic, our American republic. This is a hell of a time to be alive. If you wanted to be alive at a time that matters, now would be it. This is your chance to be a great American. This is your chance to make a difference. This is your chance to be a hero to yourself and your family and your nation, whether or not you get your name in the paper. Right? People didn't join World War II, the effort to fight the fucking Nazis or to beat back the Japanese Empire. because they wanted to be famous. It's because they wanted to be Americans. They wanted to fight for freedom and liberty. They wanted to set an example for their families, their sons and daughters, their sons and daughters to be, their grandchildren. They wanted to set an example. Now is your chance. Join the fight to protect, defend, and restore our American Republic. Semper Fi. God bless America. And thank you for supporting the channel. I'll try and get out there, 0 Dark 30 tomorrow, with another message for all you and let you know what the heck is coming your way. Until then, chance favors the prepared mind is yours.